What? IGN complaining about a thing? That never happens ever. They're doing it. They're really doing this. I am Mecha. Please subscribe to this channel if you appreciate or enjoy this content. If you're in a position to join the channel memberships or donate or any of those things, there's links somewhere. I don't know. IGN. They're a gaming site, but they also talk about movies and everything. Here we go. They're complaining about Deadpool and Wolverine already. Like, this just... I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna save it. Fans deserve better than meta blockbusters like Deadpool and Wolverine. And you got what? Oscar Isaac from one of the bad Star Wars movies, and then The Shining twins there for reasons. To remind me of The Shining, I guess. Is that why I clicked this video? Or this article? Yes, that's why you clicked this video. Because you're destined to click this video for some reason. Fans deserve better. So IGN's complaining. Wow, really? Is this the best we can do? What do you expect? Every movie to be like the biggest, most, 10 out of 10 Avengers Endgame level, that was everybody satisfied with that? I'm not sure. Most people were. I don't want to generalize. People get mad when I generalize. It's Nannerpuss! Most people were satisfied enough. Are we at a point where every movie is expected to be either the best thing ever or the worst thing ever, and just, being satisfactory for the majority of its audience for the third installment down the line in a pretty bleak and dismal, MCU showing in I don't know how many years, a few years since what, phase 4? Since phase 4. What phase are we in? 17 now?
You can call me Nannerpuss.
Times change. Streamers took over. 2020. The world locked down, shut down. For how long? We broke the habit. We broke the habit of going to the movies every single week. The movie prices.
And guess what? I love pancakes.
Are through the roof. I saw somewhere it was $78 for 2 adults and 2 children to go to see this. Regal, $18.99 for 2 people, right? Plus a $1.89 fee. $16.49 for kids. $78 for 4 movie tickets. The point is, what's the point? I don't remember. They're complaining about anything. They're complaining about anything again, and can we save the complaining to when it's Star Wars The Acolyte? No. For when it's like something that's really, really egregiously bad. Something where, I guess barring the Marvel, like the Eternals or the Marvels or something. Something like that. Hollywood, is this really the best we can do? The entertainment industry is collapsing in on itself. They're trying to replace all the background actors and extras with CGI. They're trying to replace the writers with what? ChatGPT, AI. Yeah, it's the best that we're gonna get when the people who want to make the movies and the executives have completely different ideas, right? The executives want to what? Save money. And this is one thing I see in the economy in general that's bad. We have this corporate entities, all of them, many corporate entities. They're in the business now of what? Saving money. How do they save money instead of make it, right? That's the wrong priority. You can save money to save money while you're trying to do something to make it. What are they doing to try and make money? Well, they tried to give us a Deadpool Wolverine movie that people seem to like. They're trying to what? Pander by bringing back Robert Downey Jr. for the MCU. They're trying to do a lot of stuff too. Are they just tricking us? Are they just pandering at this point? Filled with all these cameos too. I'm not even going to get into them. Spoilers. This article contains spoilers. Hopefully it won't be too many. I'll try not to read them out loud. If it's something really bad, I don't know. Face front, true believers, because Deadpool and Wolverine is now in the theaters. The crossover between Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine is sure to be one of the biggest hits this year. If we're ever going to get a new Wolverine, perhaps we should be asking, will the movie be any good? Some at IGN say yes. highlighting the performance's humor and crowd-pleasing cameos, and good for them. But I am not one of those people. In my opinion, Deadpool and Wolverine is latest in the long line of meta blockbusters we've received over the past decade or so, and is one of the worst examples yet. These are movies that are more about themselves and their place in the blockbuster culture than anything else, constantly making references to other films, making fun of their own weaknesses without actually addressing them, reacting to criticisms of previous franchise entries, and bursting at the seams with fan service and stunt cameos at the expense of actually exploring any worthwhile dramatic material. You could have said the same thing about She-Hulk. And that did it in a cringier way that was less fun. Okay, so they're basically saying this is the She-Hulk of Deadpool movies, which...
I'm a deer.
These are movies that are more about themselves and making their place in the blockbuster culture. Is the third Deadpool movie really going to be a blockbuster culture? Is it a cultural icon at this point? Or is this the third one in the sequels down the line? Now, in 2024... that might be it too. At the expense of exploring any worthwhile dramatic material. It's a Deadpool movie. Do you need it to be Shakespeare?
Bullshit!
Do you need it to be The Shining? I thought that you kind of got the gist of them battling with their inner demons, I suppose. No, I don't know where I'm going with that thought. Thank you. I'm just trying to justify a counterpoint to this. For serious. Oh, here we go. They're talking about Star Wars. They're going into Star Wars. So this is a huge, detailed example of everything that's wrong with it. And they're dragging Star Wars into it, as with most things. All of this can be blamed on Star Wars. Okay, maybe not all of it, but the release of The Force Awakens in 2015 did mark a seismic shift in the way big movies were produced and marketed. That is true. Even before anyone actually saw it, The Force Awakens was positioned as a return to form for Star Wars in contrast to the controversially received prequels. Yeah, they were trying to market it as like the best thing since sliced bread. After release, it was criticized for adhering too close to the plot of A New Hope and prioritizing fan service above strong foundational world building. This is why I'm trying to not read out of the corner of my eye. I should put it on this screen in front of me, but then you can't see it. But it connected with audiences by playing the hits, as it were, to prove that Star Wars wasn't gone from cinemas, something most took for granted. You're going to have people already bored with this article because you went over to Star Wars. So, yeah, it set the stage for modern blockbusters, the turn of the millennium, for the Phantom Menace. If The Force Awakens was an isolated case, it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but the movie's mega success, coupled with the Avengers cementing the cinematic universe boom only 3 years earlier, were the 1-2 punch that signaled the doubling down on legacy sequels and corporate-minded filmmaking that led to our meta blockbuster moment. I disagree. I think this kind of started with more the Lord of the Rings, the Harry Potters, the Twilights. It's been going on a lot longer than the MCU, I think. It's been going on probably since the day and age of the original trilogy, or the original prequel trilogy, rather. Studio movies with singular creative visions aren't gone, but they've become less common. Oh, I know exactly where you're going at with this. This corporatized story group. It's like the Lucasfilm story group. Is that what they're complaining about with Deadpool? How they accomplish this by sanding off all the edges and driving their movies in likability. They're just having a million people throw in little ideas like about dinosaurs and diversity dinosaurs and diverse dinosaurs that are pro-diversity and the diverseness of dinosaurs in Star Wars. It was all on a whiteboard. They did the memes. They're doing all the memes. So in the spoiler, I won't get into too many, but this is like a little mild spoiler. They do kind of the equivalent of that, sorta, ish. And I'm like, didn't I just see this? Didn't I see this in the other movie? Is this really more of one of those things where you kind of get on the same fad, the same kick, the same trend? And we've been going at this for so long, we don't quite know how to break it, because the trends have been the marketing it as you're an ist, you're a phobe. If you don't like these new characters that are only there to market and pander to a social justice movement, not even an audience, it's a movement, it's there to market. These don't do that so much. This hasn't given me that. So when I see a shift away from that, I think that's a good thing, because why? Audiences are having a hard time finding anything to complain about other than, yes! For example, or, are we kind of getting tired of the same old, same old? And this is what I've been saying for a while, since we've been getting pretty much the same regurgitated articles over and over again. So this is at least a new spin. This is something that I've been kind of saying for a while. It's like, wait. We're in this phase, in this era, where movies either have to be the best thing or the worst thing. And when something kind of squeaks in where it's like, yeah, that's a fun movie, that's a pretty good movie. And if I'm getting into a spoiler-free review, pretty fun movie. A lot of fun cameos, a lot of fun fight scenes, and I'm not even a big fight scene person. So it was a fun movie to kind of turn my brain off. It wasn't a rom-com. I did not like the rom-com aspects of Deadpool 1 and 2. I preferred the third. It was more of a bromance. It was a bromance. What kind of score would I give it? Maybe a 7 out of 10. I think I enjoyed it about a 7 out of 10. So if that's... I don't really want to get into so much details of, will you see it? You'll probably see it if you're watching anything on this. You'll probably enjoy it for the most part, likely to. Tell me if you did or didn't. When I see these articles, though, the void at the end of Hollywood. The latest MCU film isn't the first time director Sean Levy has banked on outside audience knowledge to make his movies function. Okay, so they're complaining that he brought in other characters, other actors from other movies. Is that really relying on it to make it successful, or is that just kind of a little side note? I think a lot of those cameos are just little side notes anyway. They're not there to rely. They're just looking for stuff to complain about, to write a really in-depth, deep look at why we're kind of in this day and age where everything either has to be the best thing or the worst thing. And they were probably paid by the word, because they certainly want to use them. So if you want to read this article and finish this off, the saddest thing about watching Deadpool and Wolverine is realizing that this trend won't likely go anytime soon. So they're getting depressed by all of this trend of the fan servicey, I get their point. We saw this, in the Flash movie? If you're not, super diehard into these characters, you're gonna see the same thing in every movie and be like, yeah, I just saw it in that. Yeah, I just saw it in that. I just saw this multiverse with all these characters. And we do see trends and repeats. And that's why I kind of accuse a lot of these of being maybe written by AI, Chat GPT, because they all kind of follow the same trends after a while. Then again, we all tend to do that anyway as a human species. So, what do you guys think? Is this just Hollywood drying up, or is this just a slow news cycle where people just want anything to talk about with it? I am Mecha. I will see you on the next video, live stream, or wherever. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye.